People often ask me how I prepare for the Robin Hood Half Marathon, and it's fair to say that there is a lot of preparation that goes on behind the scenes. There's a load of moving parts, and getting everything organised and prepped ready so that it all comes together on the same day is something that I'm immensely proud of, and all the people that are involved in that I'm immensely proud of as well. And it's also very fair to say that plans are already being put in place for 2024. This event, as like all events of this scale and size and nature, takes a whole 12 months plus planning. We asked our community ambassadors how they train for the Robin Hood Half Marathon, and this is what they had to say.
The way I train for the Robin Hood Half Marathon is to try and be as consistent as I can in getting in 3 or 4 good runs a week. Some alone, some with friends, some with running groups. There's plenty of those in Nottingham, but it's important to get in the miles and at the weekend increase that long run to a point where you feel confident that you can take on and attack that all important 13.1.
Well, this year is going to be my 8th, so every year I've had a bit of a different training plan. Some years I've been running a marathon after, so it's been a nice easy long run. Some years I've wanted to run it quite fast. This year I'm just going to be running it for fun, so I'm just building up my distance every week and trying to aim to hit probably 11 miles 2 weeks before, and that'll be my training this year.
So a lot has changed over the years since my first ever half marathon, where I only ran 1 7-mile run a week. Now I typically run 5 times a week, where I'll do a couple of easy runs, I will do some speed work, some intervals, potentially some hill sprints, and then on a Sunday morning would be my long run, which prepares me for the event itself.
Top tips for training for the half marathon. I mean, my first tip would be actually do the training. 13.1 miles is quite a long distance, so you need to be physically and mentally prepared for it, and if you can get a chance of actually wrecking the course, even more amazing. Other sort of top tips with regards to the training: only increase your distance gradually. We would sort of say normally kind of 10% a week, add that onto the kind of like distance. Definitely try and get in training up to about 10 miles. On the actual day, final sort of 3.1 miles, the crowd will sort of carry you. The other thing I would really say with regards to training for a half marathon is, unless you're a very speedy runner, do think about taking on fluids and actually taking on some food as well. It's a long time to be out on the course, and like many of the city marathons, the experience of the Robin Hood is such that you want to soak up the reactions from the crowd. So learn how to run with a bit of food, with a bit of water, so you just have a much nicer time.
So my training plan, I found through all the years, has adapted, changed. Little achievements are met quicker or later, or depending on personal circumstances. So my first year I followed my plan so strictly, and I didn't deviate, and I hit my goals. The second year I had a few family commitments that meant that I wasn't able to run as often as I wanted to, but I still made sure that I did my long runs and the targets on my long runs. So I have learned that depending on my situation, I just make the best of it. I try very hard to stick to my training plan, but I also understand that each year has different achievements that I need to hit, and there are different situations that make it maybe easier or difficult, but I know that I need to be flexible with that, and I found, because I've done it for a number of years, it's not as serious. Now I do more of the tail walking. My criteria is I just hit the same distance in my legs by walking. So if you can't run that long distance one week, walk it, but you'll know your own needs and hitting them.